All right, welcome back to our improv panel. The sweetheart panel is done. The final border is on. I'm just gonna have to quilt this, but I really like how this border turned out, so I'm really happy with that. So we're gonna count that part of the panel done. Now remember, we had two other parts of this panel. We had these conversation hearts. We have 5 of them. And then we have these kind of little vignettes, and we have 3 of those. Now what's really annoying me is that we have 3 and 5. If we had 4, if I had 2 white ones and 2 like white with red and 2 red with white, then I could make them like, I could do like a double-sided, like an oven. I could use that heated stuff. I could do like an oven, like a trivet, or like to take something out of the oven. Or I could do just a mug rug, and I could do a double-sided. But the fact that there's 3 really annoys me. And it's kind of the same thing with the conversation hearts. Originally, when I looked at the panel, I thought I'd put the conversation hearts in the corner of the border, but there's 5, not 4. And so I could have used 4 and then had the 5 left over again. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know, it just annoyed me that there that these are in odd numbers. Like if you just made them a little bit bigger, you could have done 4, or given me a little bit more room in between. Like they're so close together. It's going to be hard for me to cut these out and do anything with them. So what I ultimately have decided to do is I'm going to try it with one first and see if I like it. I'll just probably start with the Love You here. And I'm going to make a pin cushion, and I'm going to make it a walnut shell pin cushion. So these are medium to fine grit walnut shells. They make awesome filling for pin cushions. One of the things that you want when you're working with something like this in your sewing space is you want some sort of scoop, and you want some sort of funnel, so that you can put this in like the hole in something and then scoop and fill it slowly so that you don't get this stuff everywhere. Walnut shells are awesome. They have a nice weight to them. They stay inside, and I think I read somewhere that they help sharpen your pins as you pull them in and out of pin cushions. I don't know. But because the grit is so fine, I am going to line the fabric. So what I'm going to do is actually put a batting on the fabric first, and like quilt it down, and then make the pin cushion, because I feel like that batting will help keep the walnut shells inside, and then I'll use less walnut shells and the pin cushion will stay nicer looking. So that's my plan. And then I was sitting here looking, and remember when we started, we had the panel, we had a yard of this stripe, and then we had 4 fat quarters, right? That's what we started with. And so we have plenty of fabric left to do all kinds of different things. But I'm kind of thinking, like, do I want to just put a plain fabric on the back? Or I have these left over from the border, just these offcuts from my strip sets. And if I were to put them, you know, nestle them together, I would get, you know, a longer piece that has a kind of a seam down the middle. Now, again, this is another reason why I might want, because if I put this on the back and use all of my leftovers, I might want that batting on there because of all the seams back here, and I don't want the walnut shells coming through the seams. But I actually think that might be really cute. So I'm gonna try one that way, and of course there's 5, and if I don't like it as after I like quilt it and start putting it together, I'll use these as backing, because there's plenty here. But if I don't have to use the larger cuts, then I have more opportunity and more options when it comes to using this. So I'm gonna hold off on that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. I'm gonna try using the scraps of this, and I'm gonna just I'll just start with 1 and see how I like it. So I'm gonna make 1 pin cushion out of that. That's the plan. Let's see how it goes. Okay, well, we're gonna call this a successful failure. 1, because it's crooked. See, it's a little wonky looking. And I think that's because I wasn't paying attention, and when I cut this out, I cut out like they have like this shadow thing happening, and I cut that out with it, and I think that's what made it off center. Also, it looks like there's been a bite taken out of it because it's so small and stuffed that it's hard for my fingers to make them. So I don't think I'm gonna make the rest of these. I'm gonna call this a success in that it is, yes, a pin cushion, and yes, I could stick things in it it is, you know, it could serve its function, but I don't actually like it. So I'm going to call it a successful failure, meaning that I'm glad I tried it. It's, wow, it's really, look at how off that is. It's like really, really off. Like, doesn't look like a candy heart. It doesn't look like anything. It's really, it's ridiculous. It kind of looks like a child made it, you know, all of the things. So, back to the drawing board on the hearts. Let's think here about how we're going to use those. Maybe I'll move on to the others. I just don't know because of the shape. I think I'm going to do a little digging. I'm going to do a little thinking, and I'll be back. We're just going to, okay, bye.